Hello, my friends, my family, and esteemed colleagues. I have received quite a few comments on the video I made yesterday about spells. Now, I have to, rather than respond individually, because this is something that is not understood well. So I decided to make a video about explaining a personal spell. When I was talking about spells, I was talking about creating certain frequencies, energy, okay? And locking it through a spell so it cannot be erased. This is how demons and devil were created. But we have to understand that somebody puts spell on you. Well, this is a different ballgame. Why it is a different ballgame? Because it is geared to your energy. But same as any other spell, it cannot affect you unless you cooperate. And how do we cooperate? Through fear. We are being pushed into cooperation. But sometimes we do it willingly. When we are born as a children, the mechanism, the program that runs us is embedded in this what we call reptilian brain, the small brain. And the basic programs are that sustain your life, and then protection is being triggered by fear. Okay, so whatever you don't understand, you have to be careful about it. You see some animal, well, you have to be careful how you approach it, because you don't know. It's a new animal to you. You don't know if it's going to bite you, if it's poisonous, if it's not poisonous. But even those things, you kind of have to learn as you go on. And this is how you start filling the forward globe of brain. Now, no baby is evil, but there is not this developed consciousness of spirit, of physicality, and there is no compassion. Plants are always compassionate. You can start destroying a plant with a stick, and if you monitor the electric activity, you will see her scream. And then you stop and somebody hits you and you feel pain, and the plant screams for you because it suffers with you. It's very empathic. This, in much weaker way, we can see with animals. And with us humans, we are, you hit me, I'm gonna kill you. Well, as a child, since we don't really understand much, you have a little chicks around you and you want them to stay put, you twist their neck and put them there, but it's not consciousness that you are killing something, you just don't have that. But you develop it. Animals are deadly, are not afraid, but they just don't like children, most of them, especially cats, for example. Because children, they want something, well, not knowing that they are harming, they are hurting the animal. So animals, very few are patient and they take it. Most of them just snap because, or go away. Just see kids and because it learned already, animal learns that child is brutal. And we always have to go and tell the child, good kitty cat, good kitty cat. So that's how we start learning about the feelings, about how to run this robot. Now, because in true nature we are good. If you are born in a family of cabal and they want to lock you in, or in mafia family, and if you are a boy, well, they want you to become one of them. So if they see any goodness in you, any weakness, you are good, then they start torturing you. Just so you start getting the different idea. Same like a dog. If you have a pit bull and you are good to it, the pit bull is marshmallow. And if you want it to fight, well, you have to be bad to it. So you make it aggressive. Same technique is used on children. So this way, you awake in them fear, and more fear you have, the more brutal you become. Very often you get surprised. You see some big guy, strong, and then you talk to him and he is mush, he is a good guy, but his appearance like brings already respect and fear. And then you look at some weakling schmuck with the big glasses, some nerd, and if he has a chance, he is the one that's going to beat you and torture you and squeeze you, but by itself he is full of fear. Well, this is the reaction. This is how it happens. Fear is causing you to be aggressive. And also to lose senses of goodness. So many children of families that are involved in bad things, especially male children, are being then treated bad, beaten, mistreated, just so they continue the family tradition. Now, if you were not exposed to this and you are a nice human being and spell is done on you, well, you may feel it. It may come in your dream. But if you face it, it cannot harm you. Because again, you are electromagnetic field with particular frequency. Spell, or whatever creation is being done through the spell is just locking it out. It's the intent of somebody else to harm you and then locks it with spell. But the intent, it's actually production, vibration. You produce something that will harm you. So the one who is casting spell against you decides what creature they want to create and which way they want to harm you. And they just lock it with spell. Now, this can kill you. This can put you in a fear and make you sick, or can have absolutely zero influence on you. It all depends on you. Now, what I mean by this? If you remember, if you have watched the movie X-Men, Kruger, whenever you run away, he catches up with you and kills you. But if you turn and face him, he disappears. What this means, whatever is casted with a spell against you cannot harm you unless you allow it to harm you. And to allow it to harm you, you have to buy into it. You have to allow it. Evil was created. It's locked with a spell. Well, is it affecting everybody? No. Whom does it affect? Those that allow it. You sign with blood. You let it in. You become part of it. Then it affects you. Well, but you can say, well, spell was done at me and I feel so bad and my heart is bleeding. I cannot stand this. And I did not allow it. I did not sign for it. Well, this this energy was directed on you. We have always temptations. And the temptation, we call it, well, it's devil tempting you. Same is with when somebody does voodoo on you. If you believe that there is such a power that has power over you, well, you are doomed. You accepted it. And then if you turn into fear, the fear is going to make you sick and is going to kill you. You are doing it to yourself. As I said many times, if the neighbor did something that pisses you off, well, whatever the neighbor is doing, it cannot faze you at all unless you react to it. And then the way you react to it, this is now the toxic energy that you are creating that is not harming him, it's harming you. You start yelling, you start cursing, you start doing things. Well, you are creating now the toxic energy that is harming you, not him, unless you hit him with a bat overhead. So, we have to understand that basically what is happening around us is a mirror of our own consciousness. And if you don't want things to happen, don't give them attention. If you believe that that man has a power, he is a black magician, and he has a power and what he does is true, and now this man comes and you're gonna die tomorrow at noon, and I put spell on you. Well, if you believe that he has this power, you are going to be in such a fear. And closer it comes to 12 o'clock, the noon next day, the more fear sets in, and finally your system shuts down and you die. Has nothing to do with what he says, it's what you take to manifest. So nobody can harm you unless you let them. And you let them by buying into it. If you simply say, I'm creating energy around me to protect me, and now I'm protected. You need faith. If you cannot do this, then take a stick, walking stick. You believe in Jesus. Then you just say, okay, Jesus, protect me. And now I'm protected. Thank you. And if you have faith, nothing can faze you. You can eat poison. You will be fine. If you believe in Allah, same thing. If you believe the biblical God, same thing. If you believe in yourself, same thing. You just believe. You have to have faith. And not, because this kills the fear. And fear is what kills you. You have a dream. And through dream, you are being attacked by this dark force. Well, if you shrivel in fear, you have nightmares. You wake up sweating. If you face it, just look at it and say, you have no power over me. It goes away immediately. Or if you don't have this power, if you don't have the faith in yourself, then when something happens, I don't know where I have this. Oh, you have something. You can have cross. I'm protected by Jesus. Okay? You have faith. It protects you. You can say, I'm protected by my middle finger. It will protect you if you have faith. So it's all up to you. Nobody else. You are toroidal field. Electromagnetic energy radiates from you. There is nothing that can enter your field without your permission. You have to drop the electric charge to allow it to go in. Fear will do it. And you buy into it. So, you don't have to uncast the spell. Who cares about the spell? It doesn't faze you. You are immune. As soon as you take control over your faith and drop the fear. I hope I explained this so it can be understood. But casting spell, creating toxic energy and locking it with a spell, so nobody who does not know the spell cannot take it away, well, okay. Devil was created. Well, is it affecting you personally? Have you become so engulfed in it that it's controlling your life? Most likely not. It doesn't matter if it is there, if you don't let it in. The reason why we have to take all this off, so later on, nobody gets tempted to allow it to go in and to then give it the power. We just want it out, erased, finished, so there is no temptation. And we lose the history of it. It's not on your mind. so you don't manifest it again. It's a different thing, but you can protect yourself and you can be immune to all of it. It is all controlled through fear. Thank you for listening. Love you all.